Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lord Gord Podcast. This is your host, Lord Gord. I'm giving you information that's factually correct and politically incorrect. And ba-da-da-da-da, ba-da-ba-ba-ba, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. So this week, listeners, I'm going to talk to you guys about some of my favorite songs. I own many CDs, thousands of different songs, and I just been thinking to myself, what are my favorite songs? There are a lot of songs that I like a lot, but what are my favorites? So I'm just going to get into some of the songs I believe to be my favorites because, like everything, these things change over time, but certain things stay the same, so I'm just going to mention a few songs that have been my favorites for quite a long time. Favorite number one is Bobby Caldwell's What You Won't Do for Love. That one came out in 1978. And the story behind that song was, Bobby Caldwell had this record already put together. He thought My Flame, which is a great song from that record, 1978, he thought that was going to be the big hit, that was going to be the big single, but the record company didn't think so. So they said, hey, Bobby, we like the music, but we need you to go back and craft a hit. So Bobby Caldwell just got some studio musicians in the studio, crafted that song, What You Won't Do for Love, and I don't believe he thought much of it. Ended up being by far the biggest song of his career. I mean, it's been covered many times, it's been played in many commercials, movies, so on and so forth. And what I like about the song is not only is the groove tight, I like the melody, and I really like the lyrics to it. It's just a really well crafted song. I mean, it's just composed well, it's arranged really well, it's sung really well, it's heartfelt, it's melodic, and it's groovy. So if I ever need a groove to fall back on for the lovely ladies out there, I play that Bobby Caldwell. Let me give you guys a little snippet of that. Check it out.
You tried everything, but you don't give up. In my world, only you make me do for love what I would not do.
Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed that Bobby Caldwell. There's some really good live versions of that on YouTube as well. He used to do a lot of shows in Japan, like in the early 90s, so on and so forth. Really good musician. I mean, he's got a lot of good songs outside of that. But that's one of my favorite songs. Another one of my favorite songs is Summer Madness by Kool and the Gang. That's from their 1974 album, Light of Worlds. And it's an instrumental record. I believe the first time I heard this record was, it was playing a video game called Grand Theft Auto Vice City. And they had a radio station called Fever 105, and that's where all the rhythm and blues and funk music was for the most part. So I should have been playing this game. This game is very inappropriate for children. But I was playing the game, and I really, really started to enjoy the music. And they had a radio host that he looked like Barry White. He sounded like Barry White. He was known as the Lady Killer, and he would play this song. He would introduce it, Summer Madness, so on and so forth. And I really like the song. It's just this Kool and the Gang. It's jazzy, it's groovy. I mean, it's got this real sensual synth keyboard on it. This is a really well put together song. It's very mellow, very relaxed. It's really a pleasure to listen to. And I remember when I was in middle school, this has to be at least 10 years ago, there was a Nike commercial with LeBron James. There were like many different LeBron Jameses, and they had that song Summer Madness playing in the background. I remember a classmate asked me, like, oh man, like I really like the song in that commercial. Like, do you know what that's called? I'm like, yeah, that's Summer Madness, Kool and the Gang. So I enjoy that song very much. If I need a song to rely on, like I said, for the lovely young ladies to sink into the leather interior of my 77 Lincoln Continental, Summer Madness is definitely one of those songs. I'm going to play you guys a little snippet of Summer Madness by Kool and the Gang. Hope you guys enjoy that. But that was before Kool and the Gang went pop with JT, Ladies Night, Celebrate, She's Fresh, all that stuff. Kool and the Gang was like hardcore funk, rhythm and blues, jazz kind of stuff before they went pop. So that's from that era. Another one of my favorite songs is by my favorite band, and everyone knows who my favorite band is if they've listened to me at all, is The Time! Time, man. Almost all the Time songs are my favorites. I listen to The Time almost more than any other band. I probably listen to The Time every day. But one of my favorite songs by The Time is Gigolos Get Lonely Too. That's from 1982. From their 1982 album, What Time Is It? Written by the Purple One Prince himself. A little backstory. I don't know how true this is, but I remember reading it online through some reputable sources. They said that the song International Lover, which was on Prince's 1999 album, that was originally a song he had given to The Time. And when he had heard The Time singing it in rehearsal, so on and so forth, he thought that the song was so good and they were doing it so well that he took it back. I believe he gave them Gigolos Get Lonely Too. And Gigolos Get Lonely Too to this day is one of the quintessential Time songs. It's one of their staples at their concerts, one of their bigger songs. I've talked about this song in my podcast about The Time being my favorite band, and I broke down the lyrics in a podcast as well, so it's obvious that I have a strong affinity towards Gigolos Get Lonely Too. And the great irony is, when I first heard the song on this mix CD, it was slowed down and whatnot, I didn't like the song. But a few years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I got reacquainted with The Time, and I heard the original recording of Gigolos Get Lonely Too, and I'm like, man, I remember the song, but it sounds so much better than what I remember it sounding like. So Gigolos Get Lonely Too is always a song I rely on, especially the version that The Time did February 3rd, 1991 in Yokohama, Japan. That is, to this day, my favorite rendition of Gigolos Get Lonely Too. I listen to that probably every day. So I'm going to play you guys a little snippet of Gigolos Get Lonely Too by The Time. Check it out.
I've got more money than you could imagine anywhere in the streets. But money don't make no happiness. Contrary to rumor, gigolos get lonely too.
I hope you guys enjoy that. Some of my other favorite songs, I always think, what is my favorite Time song? Because Gigolos Get Lonely Too is one of my favorite songs, but my favorite Time song, I liked them so much, Cool and Get It Up, 777, 9311. It depends on the day. Jerk Out, Jungle Love. It's almost like picking between your children. I like those songs so much. It's like picking between your children. And there's so many other songs that I like a lot. So many other songs. For example, the song You Are Everything by the Stylistics. I really like that one a lot. There's so many groups and acts I like. Barry White, Smokey Robinson, Temptations, Isaac Hayes. When we're talking about my favorites, those songs I mentioned are my favorites. And that's pretty much that. It's very hard to pick my favorites. Like a top 5, a top 10. I have thousands of songs depending on my mood, depending on how I feel. I'll listen to a song. And like I said in another podcast earlier, Cassiopeia has quickly vaulted themselves to being one of my favorite bands. So I listen to a lot of Cassiopeia, a lot, Long-Term Memory, Tears of the Star, Navigators, Search My Heart, Midnight Rendezvous. I like Cassiopeia a lot. So that's the Lord Gord Podcast. Hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe on iTunes. Subscribe on YouTube. Get the Lord Gord Funk album. This Isn't TV. iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Tidal, so on and so forth. Next week, I'm giving you guys a little surprise topic. I'm gonna pick it out of a hat, and I hope you guys tune in for that. Hope you enjoy that. I'm Lord Gord. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you next time.